In this video, we're going to cut again, drill, bolt, saw, clamp, saw and cut again, tap more bolts, route, tie, hang, and finally enjoy the creation of this porch swing to hang at our fire pit. To start off this project, we're going to cut the framing pieces, which I built mine for both the back and the seat framing to be 24 inches long. One end of these framing pieces need to be cut to a 12.5 degree angle, and after this project was done, it seemed to be a really good angle for seating. After you have cut all these pieces up, you'll then need to mark out the curve for your seat. The link is below for the plans I was getting ideas off of, and they used a 1-inch depth for the seat. I also used this foam board to try to get the best curve that I could because it was the first thing I saw that would work. For you, just see what you can find that keeps some rigidity but will also be flexible enough to create the smooth curve that you'll need for the seat. Next, we just mark the line and then do a little bit of a copy and paste from this one onto the next one. And to do that, I'll be using this jigsaw and try to stay as straight and on the line as possible, because this will basically be your master copy to trace onto the other pieces. So next we just cut out the curves on the remaining 3 seating pieces. When you are finished, I would recommend laying them on a flat surface and reorganizing them until there is a smooth transition between all 4. Next we will clamp together our 2 12.5 degree corner pieces, drill them out and hold them together with carriage bolts. Then just repeat the process for the remaining pieces. And of course I made mistakes along the way, so I had to use a punch to get out some of the carriage bolts to put the 2x4 on the other side. To hold the pieces together, I used 1x4s, and the framing width of this swing is exactly at 6 feet. By now you've probably noticed that this is the longest Milwaukee commercial you've ever seen. And of course I still had another mistake, so I needed to switch this back end piece to the other side so that my back pieces were all even on each side that they are on. So in the 2 middle framing pieces, the backs are on the outside, and then on the outside ends, the back is on the inside. That's probably clear as mud, but anyways, let's just continue putting it together. One thing you need to make sure of is that all your measurements are correct so that your framing on the front and framing on the back line up evenly across the 1x4s. It is really easy to get mixed up because of the front and back pieces being offset from each other. Next, I needed to create some test pieces for what I wanted the seat to look like. I used the table saw for cutting these corners because I didn't have the chamfer router bit yet, which I do end up getting later. But here all these pieces were giving me the idea of what the seat was going to look like. I purchased 1x4s for all the seating material and then cut them down to the width from here to here, which can vary depending on how you build yours. So after I cut all those down, and being that I still did not have the chamfer bit yet, I adjusted the table saw to a 45 degree angle and then adjusted the fence to the desired amount of bevel that I wanted to add. And of course, because of cutting the width down, I ended up being 2 pieces short. So off to the store I went, and in the meantime decided to get the 2 horses I'd been needing for a long time anyways, and a piece of plywood so I could finish this off on a tabletop instead of keep working on the ground. So then I cut down the remaining 2 pieces, and then it was time to cut all the links to the 6 foot. Because this 1x4 seemed slightly bowed in the front, I clamped this unistrut to it to help square off things for putting on the seat material. Next, it was time to start seeing the swing come to life. I wanted to make sure my edges lined up perfect on the front, so I did a lot of clamping, which also helps in getting the wood piece snug to the frame for when you screw it on. Before continuing, I wanted to screw on this 2x4 to the back side of the framing and measure everything to be even so that when putting on the seat boards, all my 2x4s would be straight. And now it's time to put together the seat. For every board I put on, I would clamp it to the front side of the swing so that all my boards would be tight. However, I got too far, and thanks to these nifty Harbor Freight clamps, you can also use them as a spreader. And so you just flip it around, and then I was able to spread it from the back end to push it towards the front to make sure to continue to have all those boards being tight against each other. And that method works well except for the last one or two boards. There just wasn't enough space for the spreader. And I also didn't have a long enough clamp. Next, I needed to use a test piece to figure out what angle the back piece should have. The gap doesn't have to be too tight because of your backside piece overlapping the top. As you can see here, I used a small leftover strip to make sure the back side of the swing was also squared up. And then I started on the back side using 1x6s and clamped them up to screw them down. Now I needed to figure out my angle for this bottom piece, and I wanted to make sure that it would sit really tight up against the seat side. So I created another test piece to figure that out. I might be too picky, but I didn't quite like the gap that was still there, so I sharpened the angle just a little bit more, and that did the trick. So then I cut the angle on the main piece, and it worked out perfect. I also used the spreader here to make it sit as tight as possible against the bottom side. Since I got the chamfer bit at the store, I'm going to use it to route out all my outside edges. Now it was time to cut the armrest support, and this time using the 12.5 degree angle on both sides. If you want, you can take a seat and see if this is about the right height you would like your armrest. I used 1x6 for the top of the armrest. I did another double check just to make sure, and then was ready to assemble. We do the same thing as before and use carriage bolts to attach it. For the armrest, I cut angles towards the front and then cut one angle on the back side. Before attaching, I needed to wrap the top edge. This is a little extra piece that I decided to cut to add extra support to the back end of the armrest. The next day I was ready to install the hanging hardware. I used 1/2" eye bolt for all 4 sides. I selected a drill bit size that was slightly small so it almost threaded into the wood also. Make sure where you mark has enough room away from the armrest support. To make it handy, I grabbed this lag screw hanger to make it easier to screw in the eye bolts. Of course, this was the first of about 3 times I forgot the washer. And I would have used my ratchet wrench, but it was in the truck and the truck wasn't home. Now it was time for me to move the swing over to the pergola so I could start the process of hanging it. The link will be below to this hardware, but it is a little bit wider than the 2x6. It still works, but I would obviously prefer to be flush, but didn't care enough to return it. I needed to check the measurement of where my eye bolts sat on the outside and then measure up in between the 6x6s and figure out where I wanted to put the hardware. It really did just so happen that when I was about ready for the rope that was going to hang this swing, it was delivered. One thing I forgot to do while I was in the shade was drill the hole that the rope is going to go through. I had purchased these swing hanging springs, but ended up returning them because we did not like the way it sat. Make sure you get the hang knot nice and tight. I got the swing sort of balanced on a 2x4 to get it into position of where it needed to hang. It wasn't quite high enough, so I needed to use a bunch of blocks to get each end higher. And finally, it was time to clean the remaining sawdust off and get ready to enjoy the swing. We really love how the swing turned out, and it has been a great addition to our fire pit area. If you liked the video or it did help you out any, I'd really appreciate the like and subscribe. And once again, thanks so much for watching.